Hey, no Ramac knife. Thank you for the good luck and the squid slots. That's right. I kept my old ROMs for the cursor because I didn't feel like making new ones for that, and I didn't feel like making new sprites for the rude cursor. Why is my controller not working? Why is my D-pad not working? Oh dear. You'll beat IFB tonight. Only way that's gonna happen is if he kicks the bucket in game. Okay, D-pad's working now. But yeah, I've already got a number of ROMs for the Rude cursor, which is my custom version of the Windows 95 cursor, involving a middle finger pointer instead of the index. I can get rid of this ROM because I've got more of him. I'll finish that at some point, or I'll just delete it. But yeah, I still need to get new versions of the custom Samuses, but we've got custom versions of all of these guys. And the one that doesn't have a number is the vanilla character palette. And then 1 through 5 are the different colors. He'll kick it at Kraid. Oh man. He might just be able to restart at the ship and still beat me. He's like a full 10 minutes faster than I am, if not more than that. And the race channel should be opening up in just a couple minutes. We have to see if the cutscene crashes. Because if it does, we in trouble. Well, that's not good. That's really not good. Okay. I've still got some ROMs that have active save data. That means I need to try to find this. Yo, there's the race channel. Hit the fast forward stick. And my TV just turned off on me. Right at the critical moment. Okay, but the next part of the cutscene is going, and my TV turned off again. I've got to give it a minute. I really don't like the fact that this has been happening more and more lately. I do have another CRT, but it is really big. All right, let's hop into this race channel. .1. I wonder if it's because I keep messing around with the Dragon View glitch and making my TV have to display Mohawk and headphone jack. Those are two things that some TVs just would not have any part of. Oh, this music's from Fury. I'm only just now seeing that. Let's go ahead and add that to my favorites list. Fury is an interesting game. I've watched videos of the game and of people talking about the game. Have yet to actually play it. Now, if I save a snapshot here, might be all I need to do in order to get ROMs of this file name to work properly. So let's give this another shot. Yo, it worked. Nice. Yeah, something with the way that the Varia randomizer site has updated their the way that they put the sprites into the game, has made it so that the cutscene crashes. Which reminds me of when I tried to do ROM hacking stuff with Super Metroid. I remember I couldn't get past the first screen of the cutscene either. Also, I thought there was going to be a lot more than just GT's head on the turnaround sprite. If this just means I'm playing as Yellow Samus, then I'll try my luck with a different color. Shimmering Inchworm. Yo, what's up, Real Work? Aha. So you really can just get, like, Samus in some solid colors. But yeah, just the Chorizo head popping in only during the turnaround is a little disappointing. Kind of thought there'd be more of a change than just that. So let's see here. I haven't actually used this character. I don't even think I've seen the sprite in action. Infi and Nitty. It's like the Ice Climbers, but they have TVs for heads. I've seen these characters. There's an album cover on the Chiptune channel on Rainwave that has characters that look like this. And they have a twisting spin jump. And a twisting animation while they're on the grapple beam. That was neat. There is a lot going on with this sprite. This just makes me feel really goofy about my idea to put Vic Viper from Gradius into this game. That little guy has 2 frames of animation. Unless I felt like giving him the left and right tilt. But yeah, Vic Viper is actually a really small sprite. But that's going to be the way that I actually make a custom sprite for this game. This is by using something that has only 2 frames of animation. I just need to get, like, a good screenshot of both the frames. And then just have them have them sitting in a separate window, a separate tab in paint.net. And then that's that whole sprite sheet. I'll probably add in the the ship exploding effect from Gradius as well. But like, as soon as I get 2 of Samus's animation frames completed on any of the lines in the sprite sheet, I'm basically done. At that point, it's just copying and pasting a whole bunch of shit. Which is how I wanted to do it to begin with. Just in case anybody is curious but didn't see my post on Discord, let me just open it up real quick here on the stream. Yeah. Vic Viper is not a very big ship. But it fits pretty much right on top of Samus's arm cannon. And I wouldn't be doing angle up or angle down sprites. I won't be doing a spin jump. If this particular sprite of Vic Viper is small enough to fit into the morph ball box, then I might just leave that. But there's also smaller versions of Vic Viper on the same sprite sheet, so it wouldn't be that hard to just shrink him down a little bit. I could make him the absolutely smallest one. And you'd actually have like a frame in between full-sized and morph ball to make it look like it actually has some kind of a transition. But that's going to be a fun process. I hope I don't try to do it tonight. I'll be up until fucking 5 in the morning. Okay. Who else is new? I've used Cacodemon a couple times. The buff Eggplant, the buff Kirby, and the buff Pug all seem like super iffy to me. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Eggplant just cause. But I don't know. Just feel kind of icky. Yeah. The morph ball's funny. Okay, the morph ball's funny. And I hope to God that's just his other arm. It is, okay. I mean, the animation on it is good, but yeah, I don't know. Not for me. I think I really just did it for the sake of completionism. Kitty! This character looks like they used the Justin Bailey Samus as kind of a base. Just her stance seems reminiscent of that other sprite. But the cat morph ball, oh man, that's so good. Meow. Okay, Crystal Flash animations. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's also a different version of the same character. Both of our streams are showing off speedrun demos. You know, what's up, Firebat? Yeah, I went through and I actually remade all of my ROMs. They still crash the opening cutscene. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I tried one, the first one I tried crashed at the crashed during the cutscene. Thankfully I had another like vanilla ROM that had the same file name. So it works now. Because I have pre-existing save data. More kitty! So this is basically the same character, but she's just in a gown. Does her skirt length change? I kinda think it does. Like Varia, the Varia dress didn't look like it had the longer back to the dress. Okay, and this one, that is straight up just her in her underwear. Not really too different from what the normal Crystal Flash animation in this game is, but still. I need to see her in Varia again to see if her skirt is really changing lengths. Okay, no. It's just it depends on which way she's facing. Because the suits do have different sprite sheets. Okay. Do I have anyone else that's new that I can get to real quick? There's Module. We gotta go with Officer Donut. Tried to get a ROM with this guy working a while ago. And that was probably one of the first times when I realized that these custom sprites are crashing the opening cutscene now. I don't know what they changed, but didn't used to work like that. Donut, and he's got a horse. The horse. The horse is so funny. Alright, I need to actually decide who I want to play as, though. I gave the SNES control. Yes, okay. Gave the SNES controller a custom ROM with the ship. Oh, and thank God this already has save data. And yes, the custom ship for the Super Nintendo controller is the Super Nintendo. I know it's a little weird to have a controller coming out of the console, but It works. Okay, and I did give Ronald the Happy Meal box. So I'm not gonna lie, this took me a couple drinks to get through. And then I was also listening to a whole host of delightful heavy metal. Let's be Infinity. Maybe I can give myself an idea real quickly of who I want to be for the late race. Probably one of the Kiara sprites. I like those. Can't remember if I've actually used Richter in a run. I think I have. And I was just mentioning this to Ponk, but I'm wondering how many of these custom sprites are also playable characters in Vampire Survivors? There's at least 4. There's Alucard, there's Richter, there's Brad Fang, there's Contra Bill, there's the crewmate. So that's what, 5? Yeah. Anyways, I will be right back. All right. Now, I'm trying to remember what other character had a twisting spin jump. So I was pretty sure there was another one. All right. We've got some requests in on Rainwave. I am once again on the game channel. Suppose I should probably look up Top Gear 2 to see if it's actually there. Have to open up the big window to do this. Oh, it's there. Let's go. If I'm quick enough, I can have that start off my request line. And we were quick enough. Hell yeah. Let's get my GLHF. Cut and copied. Then let's actually get ready. I like how if you put down enough GLHFs, it stops being a spelling error. Ooh. Lag meter is a lot higher than it usually is. There it went. It was sitting at 0.9 for a little bit. It's usually just at 0.1. Yes, I remembered to turn the crab on tonight. Phrasing. Have fun! Race will actually begin. 3, 2, 1. Oh god, don't press B. Luck, fun, have good. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. The face plant on the falling sprite. We don't need to shoot these doors. That's cute. Interesting. They switch the piggyback depending on which direction you're facing. Catching all the steam. Catching all the steam. Minish Cap. Man, I never did finish Minish Cap. Should do that at some point. And the angle up, and I'm assuming... Oh, we've got very different sprites for angle up and angle down while we're running. Somebody put in, like, some extra effort with this sprite. All the pits, please. So, like, the one in the back, like, clings onto the one in the front shoulders with their legs dangling behind them like this when you do the angle up. Nice jump, dummy. The glitchy face on the morph ball is kind of neat. And they just jump right up onto the back of the other one's head during the angle down sprite. And they're still, like, kind of hanging on for dear life during just the regular run animation when they get up to speed. A lot of good work on this sprite. Might not know exactly who these characters are, but I'm still already willing to give this an A tier. S tier I usually reserve for just, like, my absolute favorites. Now that I finally have a current list of updated ROMs, the tier list, Volume 3, is closer to actually happening. Shit. The one thing I did not do that, looking back on it, I really should have done was I needed to make myself a an updated version of the SM Arcade ROM hack and have a single arcade ROM for every character. Because I'm pretty sure that SM Arcade plays nicely with not just the custom characters, but also the palette swapping. because I seem to remember that a route randomizer that I did with Ponk didn't play well with the palette swapping. Yeah, I remember because I got to the statue room and bad stuff had happened. Trying to remember what around about what time the custom sprites started crashing the cutscene. Because I know that the Among Us crewmate didn't crash the cutscene. Because I remember thinking that that one was like extra funny. Because here comes the crewmate bouncing up to the baby Metroid egg. And as soon as it pops out, he pulls that giant pistol right on it. And I just remember thinking that was an extra funny version of that cutscene. So it's only been within like the past one or two, probably say 2 or so updates that for whatever reason their sprites are breaking the game. And I'm just lucky that I have a whole bunch of pre-existing save data because I use the same file names for all these ROMs. Could it be something just as simple as the characters not having the monochrome colors in their palette? The monochrome or sepia tone colors. I don't think it's just that simple, but it might be. It depends on how the game actually handles that cutscene. Because man, if it is just that simple, then someone on the website needs to get that figured out. I sure hope it wouldn't have to be, you know, getting a hold of all of the artists again and saying, hey, we need you to resubmit your sprite sheet. But with the appropriate sepia tone colors for the cutscene. I don't think that's it, because I've had characters that I've used before that were crashing the cutscene. Crashing cutscenes, the clear choice. Yeah, that's what they've thought on the randomizer site, apparently. And who knows, maybe they have ROMs or flags on the site that get rid of the cutscene and just immediately start you out on series even with a fresh ROM. Oh, I don't need to charge a shot there. I'm dumb. Yeah. Well, yep, I need to reset the room. I'm not going to get up there in time to get that super missile drop, and I just wasted one. Dude, Bubble Mountain is impossible. It's Dad W. Hey guys. Up. Okay, dude. I like really badly need to use the restroom like right now. So I understand I'm taking a bit of a time penalty, but I have to be right back. All right. Give me my controller. Sorry about that. This is why I usually go to the restroom like right before the race starts, but it was apparently not enough. And it was basically like as soon as I landed on the planet, like, uh-oh. And we got some okay crabs. The science of doing what you gotta do. That's right. A true speed run. Gotta go fast. Yep. I've... That's the ceiling, guys. I've tried to just hold it in the past, and I have actually like just ended up dead in the game because I'm too distracted. But anyways, enough about that. You can too old for that shit. That's right. Instead, I will once again mention, like I did right at the beginning, this is Super Metroid Race number 900 for me. Ah. And I'm playing like it's race number 5. Just getting hit, I'm not turning around in time. Got him. At least I didn't fuck up the X Factor. I like this song. Not just because it's from the Dune video game either. It's funny because it's really just David Lynch's version of Dune that I like as much as I do. Because I haven't actually read any of the books, and I've watched like an 8-hour long video that was kind of giving a synopsis of the whole series. And man, that fiction is so fucking weird. I know I've mentioned it before, but yeah, Dune is just fucking weird. The David Lynch version, in my eyes, helped it make a lot more sense than the book version. And even then, God bless him, he's only a movie director. He's not a miracle worker. And I haven't seen the new ones. Here we go. Jump first, you morons! Yeah, that was too high. Missed that dumb key hunter. Oh. Okay, he ran right the hell away. Takes extra coordination between two characters. Yeah, there's a lot more coordination between these two than there is between the two Link to the Past links. Because in that setup, one of the links always stays on the bottom and the other one always stays on the top. You know, one of them turns into a duck sometimes. But these guys change who's in front every time you turn. So if I'm going one way, green is in front, orange is in the back. But if I go the other way, orange is in the front and green is in the back. Gravity pancakes. That is a very light pink. Like it almost looked white at first. But no, that is pink. This is the vanilla palette for these characters as well. It's really nice. They have that more like magenta with blue to begin with. Then they go to the green and orange, which I think is a really nice contrast. And then they go to this light pink with like charcoal. Because it's not so black that the lines are blurred between their face monitors and the rest of him. So it is just like an extremely dark gray, but you can get away with calling it black. Misfired on that mid-air morph. So yeah, the vanilla palette for these characters is really nice. It's just another solid reason to put these guys in A tier. And I don't remember them having like some kind of over-the-top hilarious space jump. If they did, that, depending on what it would be, it might be enough to put them in S tier, but I think these guys are a solid A. phenomenal sprite that I'd love to use again. It's just, once again, we're getting up there in the number of sprite options. What did I say? There's at least 75 different characters to play as. And there's even more than that once you take into account the custom Samuses. Like, we're getting closer to like 90 different characters that you can play as in this game now. Speaking of crashing video games, I need to try to finish DuckTales Remastered again one of these days. I've got a save file that's right at the final level, but that last boss really sucks. I'm really bad at it, and the escape sequence. The escape sequence is so much more ridiculous than it needs to be. And at times, it just feels like mechanics of the game are just breaking down. Like, I try to jump off of a rope and Scrooge just falls, instead of getting any kind of momentum behind his movement. And the funny thing is, it's the same exact inputs that I've been using for the other rope jumps. Just Casey at the bat on this one. Too old to be jumping off of ropes all of a sudden. Swoop Master 5000 here, giving me all the business. I think I biffed that last super. Oh, I want those. Shame I didn't get any supers from that. Oh yeah, they just do like an even faster twirl with Space Jump. Yeah. Become Tornado. It's not pink, it's lightish red. No, it's, what was it? Shimmering Inchworm. But yeah, on my old PC, the one that crashed out on me before I got my laptop. For whatever reason, the final boss of DuckTales Remastered would pretty much always crash the game. And I seem to remember that not being an issue on the laptop. Because again, I at least made it up to the escape sequence. I got like a screen away from the end of the game. And then I lost my last life and had to do the last level, the boss, and the escape sequence all over again. I just got fed up. Get off me, bitch. Put on PlayStation. But other than the very ending of the game, I actually remember really liking DuckTales Remastered. A shame that it all falls to shit right at the end. Like, I'm sorry, after the final boss, they did not need an extended escape sequence. It's fucking DuckTales, not Super Metroid. I am still slowly but surely working on uploading a bunch of my old Twitch VODs onto YouTube. A bunch of the ones that I had apparently not uploaded years ago when I streamed it. It's just one of those things where I had just forgotten to ever upload them to YouTube. So when Twitch implemented that dumb 100-hour limit, bro, I had my fucking work cut out for me. Because there's, what, 52 weeks in a year? That sounds right. And I stream this game twice on Fridays. So that right there is 2 hours. Like 2 hours plus. Getting closer to 3. Well, yeah, because it's 9, then 10, then 11. So it's 9 to midnight. So yeah, that's 3 hours. Like, I can't even save all of my race VODs over the course of a single year because of this fucking time limit that Twitch put in place. And then, God forbid, I actually want to stream something else. Which, you know, Hey, I used to, and I still really want to get back to Hellpoint. Because I think the one thing I might have been missing from my Souls-like experience was a sci-fi setting. Not that I dislike the dark fantasy setting of Dark Souls. I actually really like it. But the kind of cyberpunk aesthetic that Hellpoint has is just something I really like. I just, I unfortunately don't believe that any of the bosses in that game are going to get any easier. But that's kind of the point of those games, is you have to actually learn a boss fight instead of just slamming your face against it until it works. Oh my god, get in there, dude. Oh man. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. What a video game. Shot straight up. Mystical Ninja is probably one of my favorite N64 games to watch. That, and for a hot second recently, Blast Core was a really fun game to watch. I just don't see anybody in my feed that's really playing it anymore. And then even though it's not the N64 version, I think it was Behemoth recently that was doing speed runs of Turok 2. I think it was him. And Turok 2 is a hell of a game to watch. I don't have Turok 2 on Steam just yet, but I have a feeling I'm gonna get it. I do have the original Turok, and I really need to play through that game. That game is some of the strongest nostalgia for me, because I have extremely clear memories of the first handful of times I ever saw or played that game. I would have been in like 5th or 6th grade when that game came out. And I have, really clear memories of being a kid and playing like Star Fox, which was, a couple years before that. So I was already, you know, pretty cognizant of that kind of stuff at that point. All right. Just a little while ago, Firebat finished up, took first with a 49-27 GG. Yeah, we have a lot of people requesting songs on game tonight. Maybe it's just because I'm used to chiptune. Used to there being like 3 people in there tops. The facts show Insane Firebat is tops. Pretty much, man. Three, two, one. Real work slogans. Yeah, I think across this entire run, I'm only gonna get 2 of my requests in. That's crazy. Compared to chiptune, where I'd have to, like, refresh my request line. Had another race in 5 minutes or so. Dang. This guy. GT Classic Tournament Qualifier. Well, hey man, good luck with that. I know I was watching one of your runs recently. You just never know that I'm there unless you have your viewer list open. Well, again, dude, best of luck with it. Oh, hit that last one even though I missed the platform. Already qualified 7th seed. Nice. I don't know how big these tournaments usually are. Is it just an 8-person thing, or they go for 16? I don't know why I froze that top one early. 32 max. Nice. Last weekend for qualifiers. Very good. Been a while since Toaster and I did GTC on Friday night. Hey man, sounds like a good time. Okay, the one character kind of like crying and breathing heavy, but with the other character's face just on static. It's a pretty good sprite. Again, I've been delighted with this particular sprite. One of the really good ones. So, unfortunately, I think this is going to be a run where I save the animals. But that's to be expected. Given that I had to step away during the run. Save the frames! Save the frames! Oh, I need to turn screw attack back on before I forget. Speaking of things that came out back when I was in 6th grade. Man, I feel like this gets brought up pretty regularly, but I have not watched South Park with any kind of regularity in so long. Yeah, 5946. We are saving animals. Because that's going to be like... God, that's going to be like a 103 or some shit. I know this music. Oh, it's Andy's theme from Advance Wars. Yeah, I fucking know this music. Played me a fucking ton of Advance Wars. It's a turn-based strategy game, so I'm actually like halfway decent at it. Because I cannot do real-time strategy. Unless I play it on the fucking easiest difficulty and turn the opponent AI almost completely off. Like, dude, I just want them to sit back and build an army. Like, I don't want them to come and attack me. I just want them to, you know, fortify their position, build up their ranks. That way it actually stresses my resources in order to build a big enough army to tackle all of their locations. Alright? Oh god, don't look. Get me off this rock. 102.29. Better than I thought it was gonna be. Single G. Yeah, I guess I need to write this down. I don't want to. I want to just keep looking at my times from last week because they were actually halfway decent. But yeah, happy 900 Super Metroid races. And yeah, because I didn't want the wonky version of the title screen or any of the weird issues that had been going on with the in-game timer or the in-game health levels. I am no longer using the Varia RTA timer and the Varia credits. But I can tell you one thing for sure. My Crocomire time is still the same. Ring out the starting a zoo. A new RTS built by one guy came out called the Scouring. It's like a trimmed down version of Warcraft and it's pretty amazing. Not performance heavy either. Bro, I really think I just want to re-download DOSBox and get my hands on a copy of Warcraft 2 that way. Honestly, that game was so much fun, but last time I played it, which was years ago, I realized how much I was spoiled by StarCraft. StarCraft just has so many little quality of life improvements over Warcraft 2. And I mean, it's understandable. But I'm all about checking out free demos. Air Force! Yeah, I just saw recently there's been another league that started up. Yeah, ASL Season 20. They're in the round of 24 right now. I think they've only gone through groups A, B, and C. So those are the only ones I'm seeing in my feed. But I'm definitely going to have to check that out. One thing that I started watching just like a couple days ago, I found the YouTube channel of the New Zealand rugby team, the All Blacks. And they had a live stream going of a bunch of their past games against Argentina. And oh my god, I have missed watching rugby. I still don't know all the rules of the game, but even if you're just trying to visually follow the ball, rugby is still an amazingly fun game to watch. I don't think they have any streams going right now. But they definitely have some full games on their channel. And I mean, these guys just beat the ever-loving fuck out of each other playing this game. Dudes just slamming into each other at full speed and dragging them to the ground. And then all of a sudden, here comes some dude, gets the fucking ball, and is just gone. It's like he's only got 2 defenders to beat, and he just threads the needle. And it also doesn't hurt that the All Blacks are like one of the best rugby teams in the world. Because, yeah, like 20 or so years ago, when I went on that student trip to Australia and New Zealand, I got to watch a lot of rugby. And yeah, it's been really nice getting back into it. Petrified Flamingo. That sounds like it could be an actual color. Yo, Crayola. Hit up my Spazer Crab. All right. I am going to put up something that has a little bit more going on than just the thanks for playing screen of Super Metroid. I don't know what that would be. Mystic Quest has a pretty long demo reel. I think ActRaiser 2 has a pretty long demo reel. Or, I know what I could do. Feel like I haven't done this in a little while. SG&G, baby. Go far with Yo Crayola. Right, so I need to switch up the controls. I think that's how I need to do it. And we're going to make the demo of SG&G game over. But while that happens, I will be right back. Oh boy, looks like I came back just in time. So I think it's still going to be like another minute, at least. At least on this one. But yeah, this is such a dumb little trick, but I love it. Come on, Arthur, you've got this. We all believe in you. Scouring. Okay, let's get that looked up here in a second. Okay, a little longer than I thought it was going to be. But it's fine. Arthur knows what he's doing. We all just have to have the faith. Faith of 1,000 men that have no faith. It's fine. This is just having this game running is reminding me of playing through the 2 Maximo games years ago, and I apparently have the complete opposite opinion of a lot of others when it comes to those 2 games, which does not surprise me even a little bit. There were people out there that absolutely loved Maximo, the first Maximo, Ghost to Glory. There he goes. But I could not stand that game. Meanwhile, I thought that Maximo Army of Zen is hands down just an all-time classic for the PS2. And there's a number of people out there that think that that game is garbage. More proof that video games are subjective. Speaking of which, I have been watching a number of videos about Oblivion and the Oblivion remaster lately. Mostly just the fact that item duplication is so fucking easy to do in the remaster. Like, that's the kind of thing that QA really should have checked. Because that's easy enough for someone to just stumble upon it. Not that they'd complain, but they'd be able to stumble upon it completely by accident. Why do I feel like I should have more snapshots than this? Whatever. Oh, bam! Ooh, Team Super Metroid versus Team Win. This might actually be a good game. Team Super Metroid is one of the 2 teams that I actually gave stats to before the season started. The other one was Team Link to the Past. But I also don't understand how stats work in baseball, so... Attagirl Samus. Wait, where's Ridley? They changed the order on me, dude. Ridley usually bats second. Unless Samus got out and I just completely fucking missed it. No, she got out and I completely fucking missed it. That was Ridley that scored. I'm not looking at the part of the screen where it says their names. He got bombed! What are you doing? Turn around, you idiot! Okay, we got 2 in. Also, the t-shirts that I ordered from SGDQ have not yet arrived, but a shirt that I ordered after SGDQ has already shown up. So I'm thinking they just have a big line of people to get through with SGDQ shirt orders. It was the one I got was another Super Metroid shirt, where it's got Samus and the baby Metroid, like Samus in kind of an action pose and the baby Metroid down in the corner of the design. But then there's like this kind of like staticky, broken up picture of Ridley behind her. It's really cool. Yeah, buddy. Samus. Yeah, don't swing at that. You swing at that, you could kill someone in the dugout. Holy shit. Oh, someone's gonna try to catch that. Unfortunately, it's gonna be one of the fans and they're gonna get exploded. That's what I'm talking about, man. Come on, Ridley. Just do this all over again. Or not. Okay. 5 points is a big advantage, but oh god. Gold Chorizo, please. Have to keep a cap on your emotions, my guy. I think like 3 people decided they didn't want to put hands on that. Must have skipped that one off the ground. Oh, the leaf hit was such a bad choice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The leaf hit really only works if you're able to like spike it down into the ground and then it bounces up and away. Gold Chorizo, please throw it over the plate or that. Yeah. Well, there goes that 5-point lead. Well, at least it's still a 4-point lead. Oh, Fantoon, what are you doing? These base runners are so slow. They're jogging out there so slow, like they don't want to drop their meatball sub. But they're actively eating while they're playing the game. Nice. Good hustle. Even if it's not my team. They're getting rid of Gold Chorizo. Oh, fuck. They're bringing in Mama Turtle. Oh, boy. Yep, this is where the 5-point lead shrinks even more. Oh no. Mama Turtle, control yourself. That's why I stopped playing after Little League. I just couldn't hit the fireball, let alone the triple ball. Yo, Spanky's quest. This dude's sitting on home plate like something's good's gonna happen. And then the pitcher is such a fucking moron that he can't just throw the damn ball. Dude, Spanky's Quest is a great little SNES game that I don't think enough people play. Or that enough people have played. Well, I mean, one team has win in their name. But then again, the other team is Super Metroid. And again, they're one of the two teams that actually have stats that I made. Team Win is still hanging in there, but oh no, Mama Turtle, please. Okay, good hustle. Get under that. Nope. And the unforced error. Can't pick up slowly moving round ball. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A lot of souvenirs for the fans tonight. We only have so many baseballs, guys. Pretty soon we're gonna have to ask for those guys to start throwing them back. Look at him! Can't even hold on to his bat. Either that or he was swinging too. Oh, he just killed someone in the crowd. Don't play with fire, play with shattered bat. God damn. Him and his fucking spirit bombs. We just have massive patches of audience that are just missing because these things land and just blow up. There we go. We're holding them. We're holding them. Atta girl, Samus. Come on, Ridley, you gotta hit those, and you gotta hit them in the field of play. No, he killed the catcher. He did it again. There we go. Good double, brought Samus home. Oh, the earthquake because it's Kraid. There we go. Ridley's in as well. Yo, our 5-point lead is back. But Crockemeyer with the explosive hit. That guy's dead. He still caught it somehow, because I think it hit the wall. I think it actually hit the wall first. Okay, but we're up by 6 now. They're pulling their pitcher. Oh, you tricky bitch. Yeah, start running back, guys. Dragon with the missile hit right between the outfielders. Oh, we need the grand slam, guys. Come on. Embran. Mother brain. That's not it. It did hit the wall first, so we're gonna score at least. Mama Toidle. Oh, that dirty fucking stop pitch. The stop pitch and the leaf pitch are the two most dangerous things that a pitcher can do. He could have gotten that guy at second. I don't know why he didn't just go for him. Oh, Samus. Please stop killing people in the crowd. That must have hit the ground right before he caught it. Oh, attaboy, Ridley with the missile hit. That's what we needed, dude. We're gonna get the fucking mercy rule now. Yeah, we can very likely get the mercy rule at this point. We're up by 10. I think they get one more at-bat, and if they can't score in that inning, then the game gets called. If there's a 10-point lead. Oh, that was dirty. Shame it didn't work out, but yeah, that was a dirty hit. Now Mama Turtle just needs to keep her composure. I know she has an overwhelming hatred for, I think it's right-handed batters. I think Rolf here is a left-handed batter. Yep, there we go. Game set. We win. Haha. Always good when one of my teams gets the mercy rule. Usually it's like Team Mega Man 2 that ends up getting smoked by like 12 points. So that's Team Final Fantasy VI versus Team Link to the Past. I don't know if there's like another page to this. I don't know how many total games there are in a season. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna use like one of the Kiara sprites. I think we'll use the idle sprite. That one was pretty cute. Okay. No races in progress. There's no N in Friday. Let's join my own race. Well, no, I think I actually... Maybe I didn't show it last week. I can do something real quick. And maybe I did. I don't remember. I think it might have just been something I did off stream. So real quick, this is what we're working with for an animation on Vic Viper here. His little jet in the back flickering between two frames. I mean, you can see he does, like, tilt up and down. Don't know how I didn't die there. But I'm not planning on using the, like, the tilt. See if I can get a good shot of the ship exploding. There you go. I am planning on using that for his death animation. So I'd probably just need to real simply go through the frame counter. And if, because of the GT Classic qualifiers, if no one shows up for the late race, I'll go ahead and do some manner of run. Never mind, there's Insane Firebat. Load up the Quack ROM real quick just to show how unprepared I am to make my own custom Super Metroid sprite. Also wondering what like my gravity suit color would be for Vic Viper. Because the normal suit's just going to be blue. Varia suit is going to be red. And gravity is either going to be green or purple. Wah. And yeah, my duck here is just a static sprite. Because the way that the duck game sprite sheet is laid out, the duck's arms, his wings, are completely separate from the rest of his body. So they can animate separately, easily, I'm assuming. They can just kind of paper doll around. That means that for something like this, I have to manually do his arm movement for the walk animation. And even that, I feel, is just way too much effort for me to be willing to do. Also, there's Mega Man X with a beard. Not really sure why, but I'm assuming that it's someone that really liked the Mega Man X sprite that also has a beard that wanted to give X a beard as well. Maybe? I don't know. And his morph ball is what? Is it like beard dye? Or beard tonic? It's like a jar that was filled with brown. And sometimes you just have to question a jar that's filled with brown. Like, what is that? It doesn't have any kind of, like, label or wording on it, so it's like a jar of beard trimmings. Of course, Mega Man with a color flashing beard. The one thing I am really happy about is I've got a bunch of functional ROMs that have Charizard. I think Charizard is a great fit for Super Metroid. And just look at the big guy. That's such a well done sprite. And he just goes down into the Pokeball like he's fucking supposed to. Someone else is here. Nintoaster. Hell yeah. I think I've already taken a look at everybody that's new. Oh, no, I haven't looked at Modal. Modul? Modal? Model? Haven't looked at him yet. Mango Tomb. Oh man. That's a color and a half. Okay. Animation on this guy is really nice, but he's kinda spooky looking. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. Wow. And like the semi-realistic, like small black handgun just makes him seem even more threatening. It's like, oh god, he's got a pistol. Like, this little guy's got a real gun. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know about this guy, man. Again, really well done sprite. He just kind of freaks me out a little bit. And we got Tillamorph in the race. Very nice. The gun just coming out of his hat is a little weird. Trying to remember if I've been SMW Mario or if he just like hasn't properly worked. The decision to use the Koopa shell is a pretty good one. I maybe would have liked to see the Mario face shell from SMW. Oh yeah. Before I take my break, there you go. Okay. Like 15 seconds into this video, and I'm already liking what I'm seeing from the scouring. Really does have that Warcraft 2 feel to it. It is in early access. And I'm not seeing an option for a free demo. Wonder if that's in like the digital deluxe version. Or is it in the gold dev supporter pack? No. Maybe it was just something that had a free demo recently. It is on sale. But yeah, I will go ahead and add this to my wish list. Just so I can keep an eye on it. Oh god, what else am I being shown here? What is this? Oh, it's a porn game. Thanks, Steam. Yep. Yep. And nope. They pulled the demo when they released it. It's technically still in early access. But anyways, no, it looks interesting. I'll keep it on my wish list for right now. And I will be right back. All right. Sprite reminds me of Terminal Montage a bit. Yeah, I can see that. Speedrunner Mario is one of his ultimate characters. Shy Guy is the sprite, except there is no changes in movement at all except for that wiggle. Dude, that would be... That'd be really hard to do. Because you have to compress that sprite way too much. But I'd like to see it. Even if it's just something I did on stream, where I just move Shy Guy around on top of Samus. Let's actually get ready before I get ready. Pretty sure that's just her arm with her finger pointing. Just because of the resolution of the sprite. Also, I think I might need to try to find a different kind of setup here for Hex Chat, so I can actually start streaming that window again. Or I could do something kind of like what Insane Firebat does, and that's have the IRC at the bottom of the screen. I don't really have a whole lot of real estate to work with anymore. So I'm thinking I'd probably just have to shrink down my chat up in the top right. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Well, I'm already a fan of this sprite. Nice palindrome time. Plus, there's also the fact that her morph ball turns her into a cat. And that's a good design choice that I've seen other sprites use as well. 4282! Fun, good, have luck. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. Oh my god. I have barely gone through my request line. I've gotten like halfway through it. Like, we just must have a lot of other people requesting songs. And usually that means that someone else is streaming Rainwave. In my experience, that's usually what that means. But once again, it is the game channel instead of chiptune. Game has always been a more popular channel. And a more populated channel. Chiptune was just like someone left the door to the radio station unlocked, and Realwork and I got to just go in there and play whatever records we wanted. They didn't get rid of chiptune. They moved one of my favorite songs out of chiptune. And that song is Ayers Rock from Top Gear 2. So this move does mean that I miss out on Sagila's Cave from Rygar, which is an awesome chiptune song. I think the game channel more than makes up for it by having a whole host of other amazing songs. Plus, I figured out that that little widget that I use at the bottom that says the song name, I figured out in order to change that from one channel to the other, I just had to change one word in the URL. I guess I'm also missing out on, like, the original soundtrack from Lama Lana. I mean, I get the remake soundtrack, which is good enough. But there's less original music on this channel. It is almost entirely just music from video games. And surprisingly, it's been like the original music that has gotten me looked at on YouTube. Looked at in a bad way. I've had to mute songs in the past because my videos get blocked because of some knucklehead in Sweden that doesn't want people listening to his music. I kid. I don't know if that guy's from Sweden. You know, it's probably just the music that's playing right now that's making me think this, but I wouldn't mind seeing some Metal Slug characters show up in Super Metroid. They should have more than enough frames of animation. Like, they should have too many frames of animation. And at some point, I may end up switching back to chiptune. Just because there's still a lot of really good music on that channel. people will definitely be able to tell which channel I'm on just from the sound of the music. Go, kitty, go! And I tried to take that jump a little bit slower and everything so I wouldn't get hit. I don't think that's the way I need to do that. Also, I think I need to just watch a playthrough of the original Kingdom Hearts and see if I can figure out where I got stuck in that game. Because I remember really liking Kingdom Hearts. And I have Kingdom Hearts 2. I'd like to play through that at some point, but the part that I'm like actually looking forward to in Kingdom Hearts 2 is the Tron segment. Because I'm an absolute sucker for Tron. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. The look of it was just so different from everything else that was around for the longest time. And the fact that that movie kind of got snubbed by the people that do movie awards is a little ridiculous. Because they said, oh, they cheated by using a computer. Meanwhile, Disney and Pixar have been bedfellows for how many years? At this point, I mean, come on, man. The making of Tron is almost just as interesting as the movie, honestly. It is a really interesting story of people having to kind of fly blind when it comes to computer animation. A lot of having to write their own code, and a lot of having to write their own code on a fucking notebook paper and then transferring it in. Didn't know Tron was Disney until Kingdom Hearts. I had forgotten that Tron was Disney for the longest time, but I also, since childhood, I had a little sticker of the Tron light cycles that was just like on the side of a bookshelf. And it, you know, said copyright 1980 whatever Disney. But it's weird because like I asked my dad when he was at whatever the Disney park is in Florida. I can't ever keep them straight because I've never been to either one of them. That's Disney. Fuck it, whatever. Disney in Florida. I asked him, because like he called me while he was in the gift shop, and I told him, find anything with a Tron logo, please. And he's like, there's nothing here with a Tron logo. Got him. So I don't really know what the deal was. I think it had just been so long in their past that they didn't really think it would be worth it to market it in the present day. And this was well before Tron Legacy came out. And personally, I was not a fan of Tron Legacy. because we know how computers work too well as just a general society. Like, there's just a base level of understanding of computers to an extent. Back when Tron came out, there was still like an art and a magic to how computers functioned, and there was still a lot of mystery to it. So you really could imagine these little electronic warriors, you know, going on a quasi-mystical journey, and it almost literally just being represented on the computer monitor as a loading bar. You could kind of get away with that back in those days because there was just a naivete. You know, people still thought the computers were just a fad back in the 80s, because everything else was just a fad back in the 80s. Now it's like a billion-dollar industry like every fucking thing else. But yeah, I went for a long time before I got myself a DVD copy of Tron. And then the first time in all of those years that I actually watched the movie, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun. It really was that like Treasure Island or Swiss Family Robinson kind of adventure movie that Disney hadn't made in just years. Only it had a completely different visual style to it. And a visual style that I am still in love with and still prefer over the Legacy movie. I swear to God, if I get hit one more time by this fucking thing. And the Tron 2.0 killer app game that's on Xbox and PC is a pretty good first-person shooter from like the early to mid 2000s. I mean, if it was original Xbox, then yeah, that's around the time it would have been. And the light cycle racing in that game is so good. I need to rip the ISO off of the PC copy that I have over here. And the only reason I hadn't even thought of doing that until recently, quasi recently, probably like a year or two ago at this point, was because my Xbox stopped working. And I had Tron 2.0 on the Xbox. But I think I just need to rip the ISOs off of the PC version that I've got. And I need to play that game again. The light disc as a weapon in a first-person shooter game does feel a little weird at first, I gotta admit. But that game does have guns in it. But also, I think I might need to mess around with difficulty settings, because the enemies felt really spongy. And that was not really fun. But there was also since Tron 2.0 Killer App came out well before Tron Legacy, it was more based on the style of the original movie, only slightly updated for the early to mid 2000s. But there's still just like bright streaks of neon going through the sky at like hard right angles and all of this great stuff. And there was one point right near the beginning of the game where, I mean, it was really just like a bottomless pit that your character could fall into if they weren't careful. But I remember looking down into that pit and busting out my old Nokia flip phone and taking a picture of the screen and using that as my phone's wallpaper for months and months and months. I'm actually wondering if Tron 2.0 might be on Steam. I'd like to think that it would be. But at the same time, if it's a game from the early to mid 2000s, it kind of makes me think that it might be a bit of a pain in the ass to get it running. Which was something I think that I said to Ponk during our discussion about Oblivion. 20 years ago, it was a lot easier to get 20-year-old video games running than it is today. And the wording of that might need to be fleshed out a bit more to truly convey the message without any confusion. But yeah, back in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, it was so much easier to get 20-year-old games to play than trying to get 20-year-old games to play nowadays. Because a lot of things from the early to mid 2000s weren't really normalized yet across video games. Like universal control schemes, graphical settings. A lot of that stuff didn't get normalized until years later. I mean, for fuck's sake, how long did console gamers have to struggle with tank controls before they decided, you know what, this is not a control scheme that we need to keep using, guys. Mr. Krabs! Best crabs for the lady in the red dress. And the kitty. That's the ceiling, honey. Let's try that again. Best crabs is the buzz! Honestly, for as much as I like this sprite, I can't really see it being any higher than a B. being a B tier. Like, so far, the only thing that really kind of makes it special is turning into the cat for Morph Ball. I mean, yeah, it's a cute girl. I like the fact that they went with two different lengths on the dress, depending on which way she's facing. I'm a personal fan of their choice to give her blue hair. Soon as the vocal part started in this song, I was like, okay, which Halo game is this from? Talk about another PC shooter that I probably need to start playing again at some point. So I've got the discs for the PC version around here somewhere. Probably right next to the Tron ones, if I'm being honest. In some fucking pile or in some fucking box around here. I think he's a little bit too close. I think he came in too fast. Unless I just killed him off screen. But I don't think that's the way that works. Nope, I hit him with two. So we need to finish him with missiles. Okay. Must have shot those a little bit too fast. Must have just not wanted to use a super. The tail wagging on the cat is a nice fluid animation. You gotta like that. But yeah, since I grew up as mostly a Nintendo kid, well, as almost exclusively a Nintendo kid until the early to mid 2000s when I actually got a PS2 for the first time. I had really only ever played Halo 1. And I'm pretty sure that's still the case, actually. I might have played a little bit of Halo 2 when I was younger, but I really don't think so. I think I've played more Outlaw Golf than I've played of Halo. But as per usual, I always claim to be a bit of an odd duck. I didn't even get into like the Madden football games until like 2005, 2006. That was way too high. Still think that the Madden football games are a lot of fun, but I don't I don't play those games like everybody else that I knew at the time, which was, drop back 10 fucking yards and throw fucking 40-yard pass and just eat up the field and score a million points. Nope. I made motherfuckers play defense because I would run the ball. And I'd still get like big gains every once in a while. Just fucking running the ball in Madden. And then, just like in the real game, once they start cheating up to block the run, that's when you hit the play action, do the fake handoff, and then you drop it to just someone that's doing a quick little slant route, and you get like 15 yards. But I have had multiple people that I knew back in the day tell me that they really did not like playing against me in Madden. And I'm like, yeah, and why is that? It's like, because you run the ball. Mm-hmm. I make you have to think a little bit when you play this game. Terrifying concept to some people. And then on defense, I'd always play as one of the defensive ends and just try to nuke the other team's quarterback on every single play. Probably should have gotten that power bomb, but whatever. But then it's just like, dude, you can shift your offensive line before you snap the ball. Just put another defender on my character. Oh, wait, then I'll just play a nose tackle. I got to be pretty good at Madden. I got to be pretty good at a couple iterations of NBA Live. When whether or not I was actually going to win the game was no longer a question, then it started being about how few points can I allow the other team to score. And I think in Madden 2006, I had a game where I scored over 100 points and allowed my computer opponents none. But that was because I was passing the ball. As soon as I got back to running the ball, it became a little bit more challenging. But then I discovered the old New York Giants running back named Brandon Jacobs. There's an amazing GIF of him back in the day where he's drawn as a red and blue version of the Juggernaut. Because that's the closest comparison I've got for this guy. He was a fucking beast. Seeing defensive backs bounce off of this guy just made me laugh so hard back in the day. It's the good old days of rushing offense in the NFL. The days of thunder and lightning. You'd have a big bruiser of a running back, and then you'd have like a guy that's a full head shorter than him and like 50 pounds lighter, but he can smoke him in a foot race. The other big difference between the game channel and the chiptune channel is on chiptune you largely don't get stuff like this. You'll get stuff from like the Nier soundtrack. Like, I think Nier Automata has a bunch of chiptune stuff. But yeah, this just goes to show you what video game music has become, because this is just like an operatic song. There's nothing that really sets it apart as being specifically game music other than it's from a game. Did I dislike that song? But I just wanted to make that point while I could. Like, yeah, there's some differences between these channels. I want that last one back, I lied. Yeah, and I'm not really super thrilled about this space jump animation either, so I think I'm gonna have to put this girl solidly in B tier. Still a really well done sprite. And I would definitely consider putting it in the rotation. Putting her name in the hat. Which is something else I need to update. I need to add so many names to the hat. But just because I have the sprites doesn't mean that I would put their name in the hat. The buff Kirby, the buff Pug, and the buff Eggplant, no thanks. And there's a couple other characters that just not gonna bother with. This song from XY. Okay. Swear to God, I think I heard this song more times than the generic battle theme. I took so many Pokemon through the Elite Four and through the Champion just to level them up. XY was when I really became a Pokemon fan again. Absolutely love that game. And one of the big things was the online Pokemon trading capability. Oh my god, you mean there's an online service for this game where I can request trades from anyone else that plays these games from around the world. Blew my mind at the time. Might have been able to do that with one of the DS games, but I didn't have a DS until years later. And then the only reason I really got one was so I could jailbreak it. Put some homebrew software on there. I still need to track down a big fat list of DS games. See if there's anything else out there that I really want. And then I need to actually start playing it again. Because after I got done with Pokemon Moon, I think I played the Pokemon Rumble game that was on 3DS after that. And haven't really bothered with any of the new stuff. Mostly because I don't have a more modern Nintendo console than a Wii. And as you can see, I don't necessarily use it to play Wii games. Almost recovered that 7 energy. Oh, I need to kill all of the little guys in this next room. No, you dummy. Said all of them. Like, Pokemon Moon was fine. I liked the, you know, the tropical setting. And a lot of the different, Alolan variants of the Pokemon. The Alolan Sandshrew, I particularly liked. Because he looks like a little igloo. And just thought he was adorable. And then, you know, the online trading in that as well. After I beat the game with both of those Pokemon games, I spent a lot of time just trying to build a living Pokédex. Just have one of everything from, like, Gen 1. I should be using a power bomb. What am I doing? Too many fucking items on screen. It's too much lag. And I let him get out of the corner and he started throwing balls at me. Which is rude. course, it was relatively just a little while ago, just a couple years back, when I played through Pokemon Black and Black 2 on stream. And that game is so much fun. I like the idea of having a completely fresh set of Pokemon to work with until, like, the post-game, when your character, like, travels to a different region, and that's when you can start collecting all the other shit that's already been, you know, a generation or two ago. Finally completing a game from Gen 3 was kind of big for me. Because initially, when I was younger, I had skipped out on Gen 2 because I didn't have a Game Boy Color. But it was on a vacation to New York City with my dad when... I don't remember if I already had a Game Boy Advance at that point or if he bought me one while we were there. That's why I need to count out loud. Dad, nice catch, buddy. I think I already had a Game Boy Advance at that point, because I'm pretty sure that I already had Metroid Fusion. And I think I had one other game, but then he bought me Pokemon Sapphire while we were in New York. Also kind of remember being, like, fairly disappointed with a lot of the stores in New York City, because I was like, I really thought the selections would be a lot better than this. But, you know, it's what happens when you look around for semi-obscure shit and video games. Ah! Yeah, I had something else besides Fusion really early on. And I don't think it was that Atari multi-pack that I found in the trash can of the store that I was working in at the time. It was just a loose cartridge of the game. Saw it in the trash can and I'm like, this is mine now. Let's see if it works. I don't remember all of the games that were on it, but I know it had Yar's Revenge. And Yar's Revenge is a fucking sick Atari game. And there's a reason why it's one of the ones that I have on my emulator here. It's like Yar's Revenge, Hero, Adventure, and Dragster. and I don't plan on ever going back to Dragster. I had that one night where I played it a fuck ton. I got a really low time. I didn't get the fastest possible time. But I got a pretty low time for a night's worth of effort. But also because Dragster was like the hot meme game at the time. Because OmniGamer had just written his book. One of the few times where I've decided to play a meme game in pretty much the same period of time that everyone else was. Usually I wait a while. Because I like to wait for information on the game to be public. You know, I like for the wikis to be complete by the time I start playing the game. I like when I can just look shit up online. Because I grew up as a kid not having that option. And even when I was in my teens, in my early 20s, less so in the early 20s, but when I was in my teens, you know, we still had like game facts or stuff like that, but the amount of public knowledge on the amount of video games is nowhere close to what we've got today. And surprisingly enough, it actually took me a while to get my hands on Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. And then it real quickly became my favorite Game Boy Advance game. Like, I think I did a top 5 recently, and I put it on Discord, but I'd have to check my history. But I'm almost positive that Aria of Sorrow and Fusion are both on that list. Probably Pokemon Gen 3. Maybe Mega Man Battle Network? And maybe Mega Man 04. Zero 04 is the only one of the Mega Man Zero games that I've ever beaten. Because it had a difficulty setting of easy and normal. Put that game on easy, and it was still pretty challenging. They had a really interesting underwater level in that game. I seem to remember. And I really did like the ability to switch between the saber and the gun. Like, you hold down R, and you can use the sword. Or you can switch it around and you hold down R and hit the attack button, and then you can use the gun. All depends if you want to play Mega Man or if you want to play Ninja Gaiden. Now that I think of it, I bet that I've got two other games in my top 5 that I put on Discord besides Mega Man 04 and Battle Network. But I know Aria and Fusion are there, and I'm almost positive that Gen 3 is on there. Oh, Astro Boy Omega Factor. Oh my god, Astro Boy Omega Factor. That is an amazing video game. Now that I think back on it, yeah, that one's definitely in my top 5. That might even be in the top 3. That might be in the top 2. That might be ahead of Fusion. Bitch. She almost held that catch-up, man. I need to turn Screw Attack back on. Let's see. Yeah, I still have Discord open. GBA. Oh, I put Advance Wars on the list. Yeah, it's Aria of Sorrow, Astro Boy Omega Factor, Metroid Fusion, Advance Wars, and Pokemon Emerald. Like, specifically Pokemon Emerald. Because that was the one that was kind of the combination of Ruby and Sapphire. It's funny because I had Sapphire first. I played Emerald a whole bunch on emulator, but then Ruby is the one that I actually ended up beating on stream. And I think Twitch has lost one of my VODs from that playthrough. That's not how you spell time. 5656. Okay, so this is going to be a low 59, which is fine given all the horse shit during this run. But 5656 as a gag in my head is kind of what I want as my final time for this route. And I don't even have to cut a whole lot of time off my PB in order to get it. Yeah, I think it was, God, it might have just been this recent AGDQ that someone did a run of Astro Boy Omega Factor, and I got a kick out of watching it. He did not play the full game. I have to mention that. Astro Boy Omega Factor is a game that utilizes time travel. And lots of hidden secrets that you need to discover. And once you have all of them, that's when you get the true ending. Fourth place, 5906. GG. At least we lived tonight. GG. Let's do the thing. Pop out. If I average the two finishes, I got third place. Woo, third place! So once again, I'm gonna throw up this goofy little picture. Just because when I saw this, and I saw that I have 1 pixel of horizontal wiggle room, that told me this is something I actually need to try doing. Hey, thanks for the GGs, Toasty. Never mind Samus with spaceship arm. This is just an idea that I had recently. Again, I just need to open up Gradius 3 and get a screenshot of that second frame of animation. I also need to make myself an SM arcade ROM for all of these fucking custom characters. So again, that's like 70 some odd ROMs that I've got to make. Air Force! So I mean, honestly, I'm surprised I found the energy to make like 5 or 6 ROMs of all 70 some odd of these characters, and patch each one of them with Insane Firebat's speed demos patch. That's right. No more wondering about which one of these has the speed demos, and no more being surprised. Oh, I thought these guys had the speed demos. I thought these guys had... Nope. Done with that shit. Everyone's got it. It's gonna be weird as fuck the next time I play this game and it doesn't have the speed demos. And that's a good thing. Speaking of good things, we did it. And with that, that was race number 901 of Super Metroid for me. And we're going to be back next week and do it all over again. Can you believe it? Because, I mean, I can. Done this shit 900 times. Of course we're going to be back next week and do it all over again. But for tonight, that's going to do it for me. Done did it. Oh, man. So another big thank you goes out to Punk. We had another great night of Vampire Survivors. Oh my god. At least go check that game out on Steam if you don't have it or have never heard of it. Vampire Survivors. It's like $5, and it might just be the best $5 you've ever spent on Steam. And of course, a big thank you to Insane Firebat and everybody else from the SRL races. It's always a lot of fun. And as long as IFB is my race buddy, then there's absolutely no fucking way I'm catching his number of SM races. Holy shit. He's getting close to 1,800. Craziness. But he plays the game a lot more than I do. Don't know if anyone noticed. Anyways. For everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And thanks once again for the races. Hope everybody has a good night, and I will catch you next time. See ya!